Nobody wants President Newsom either. Nobody believes in that guy. That guy's a f***ing con man. Everything he did in California, from trying to mandate vaccines for kids to being caught public without a mask and lying about the fact that he was outdoors.
Yeah.
Nobody believes in that guy. He's just a politician. Just a stone cold, narrative driven politician.
Okay, so California Governor Gavin Newsom, who is running a shadow campaign against Joe Biden, he's facing another recall. They tried to recall him back in 2021, tried to kick him out of office and replace him with Republican politician Larry Elder. That failed dramatically, even though Newsom was scared to death. He raised so much money, had Barack Obama, them, Bernie Sanders, and even Hollywood celebrities, Snoop Dogg, other people. They all spoke up for him. They all tried to convince the voters that Gavin Newsom was the best choice for California, even though he had run California to the ground with his hardline COVID policies and with his soft on crime policies, also his anti-business policies. But he completely destroyed Larry Elder. Even though Larry Elder looked like a great gubernatorial candidate, he was destroyed because California is filled with hardline Democrats. He defeated this recall by 20 points. But this group is called Rescue California. They're starting a petition again to try to kick him out of office because they're saying even though he's going to leave, his term is over in 2027, that California can't take another couple of years of Gavin Newsom's policies. So they want him out of there. And this recall is going to be extremely hard. It's very, very unlikely that this is going to happen. Back in 2021, this recall was able to gain traction because of the COVID-19 policies. We saw Gavin Newsom at the French Laundry with his buddies, with the health officials who wrote the lockdown policies. These guys didn't give a damn. They were showing the people of California, this really isn't a serious disease. We just want to lock you peasants away while we, the rich people, get to do whatever the hell we want. So a lot of people saw that, they were angry, and they signed a petition to recall Newsom. But now we don't have anything like that going on. Of course, you have rampant homelessness. 30% of U.S. homeless people live in California. It's completely unaffordable for the average person. That's why they have to raise minimum wage and stuff like that. And we're going to get to that in a second. And the crime is off the chain. So this recall is extremely unlikely because of the Democrat loyalty. Gavin Newsom can slap these people around, treat them like dirt, and get away with it because 70 to 80% of the people are going to support him no matter what. It's insane, man. And speaking of this hardline Democrat loyalty in California, we're going to get into another example that exposes just how loyal these people are. So I just mentioned minimum wage. In California, they raised the minimum wage to $20 an hour for fast food workers. This is supposed to go in effect in April. And this applies to all large chains. I think if they have over 60 locations, something like that. It's a terrible job killing idea. Pizza Hut already laid off 1,200 workers, and we have way more to follow. It's going to hurt the fast food industry and the economy in California as a whole. But Panera Bread was exempt for this. And I thought it was kind of weird to begin with. I thought it was strange. I knew something was going on when they said that, when they announced it. So let's take a look at my comments back when they first announced this. Fast food workers, minimum wage in California is going to be $20 an hour. What does that mean? Well, that means that your caramel macchiatos are about to become very expensive. They're going to run a premium. This is going to affect about 500,000 workers, 500,000 fast food workers in California for right now. And for some reason, Panera Bread is exempt from this whole thing. That's really strange. So now we're getting way more insight into what the hell is going on. Why do all these big chains have to pay $20 an hour? Why is Panera Bread exempt? Why do they get to remain at the regular minimum wage? I think it's about $15, $16 an hour in California. What's going on here? So we got more insight into what the hell is happening. Let's take a look.
Lawmakers are calling for an investigation into Governor Gavin Newsom, one of his billionaire donors, and how that relationship helped exempt Panera Bread from a new state law. You see, back in April, major fast food chains will be required to pay their workers a minimum of $20 an hour. But Panera Bread and other chains that bake and sell their own bread separately on site won't have to.
KCRA 3 Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala joins us now after spending the day at the Capitol to press lawmakers on this issue and why Panera doesn't have to and other bakers.
Lisa and Ty, still so far, no one can give us the rationale or the reason why Panera Bread and other bakeries like it are carved out of this new law. But late this afternoon, the governor's office said his lawyers took a look and say Panera might actually not be exempt. Here's how we got here. Multiple sources confirmed this is something the governor pushed for in 2022 with the influence of one of his billionaire donors and Panera franchisee, Greg Flynn. Now, Flynn, who you see here in this video from our interview in 2022, he went to high school with Newsom and had business dealings with the governor. State campaign finance records show Flynn gave $100,000 to Newsom's campaign to fight the recall in 2021. He also donated $64,800 to Newsom's re-election campaign in 2022. That includes big deposits before and after Newsom put this exemption into the law that summer. Today at the state capitol, we approached the state lawmaker who actually wrote and carried the law as it moved through the legislature. He said he did not know why the exemption was in there.
I inherited the bill, so the fundamentals of the bill were in place when I took the bill over.
Respectfully, when you took over the bill, the exemption was not in there. The exemption was placed in the bill in the final weeks of the legislative session when you were carrying it. So were you part of the negotiation to include that exemption?
I was not.
You weren't, but it was your bill. So how are you not included in the negotiation?
In terms of, it's my bill, but in terms of the negotiations, it was bringing together the business community and the franchisees and the franchisors, and also SEIU and others, and through the governor's leadership, they came together, and what came out of that is what became the amendments to the bill.
Republicans are now urging some kind of investigation, some going as far to say the FBI should get involved.
Who's in charge of investigating this? Who's in charge of making sure that the law was actually followed and that there was nothing shady going on? And frankly, I don't think the Attorney General is capable of doing that. I mean, the Attorney General is likely to run for governor, and he's in the same party and very close with the governor. I think it has to be an outside agency that investigates this, and maybe even the FBI, to be honest with you.
Okay, so let's go back to the governor. In a statement this afternoon, Governor Gavin Newsom's office said, quote, "The governor never met with Flynn about this bill, and this story is absurd. Our legal team has reviewed, and it appears Panera is not exempt from the law." Now, that appearance is up for interpretation. Many groups involved in the negotiations understood this as an exemption, again, for bakeries like Panera. We have a link to the law directly on our website so you can see for yourself. We're still trying to figure out why this clarification is coming now after, as we showed you last night, I asked the governor about this 6 months ago. Flynn has not responded to our request for comment.
So Newsom is nothing more than another left-wing corrupt politician. And this guy is so brazen because he knows he can get away with it. He knows that he has massive support. He knows what he did in California back in 2020, back in 2021 with the forced vaccines, with the business killing mandates, ran all types of businesses out of the state and killed many businesses. These businesses are gone and will never come back because they were completely crushed by these unnecessary lockdown policies. Newsom knew he got away with that. To this day, he hasn't paid the price for what he did to those people. And he said, look, I can help my buddy. We boys, we went to high school together. He gave me money. When I was recalled, he gave me money then. And I'm running my shadow campaign. He's giving me money for that. And if I get recalled again, he's going to give me more money. This is my homie. This is my billionaire homie from high school. Newsom can do this openly, and he can lie about it, act like it's no big deal because they confronted him about it, and he just brushed it off.
Places that sell and bake bread on site, so carving out essentially
this late last year. Watch.
There's a provision in this bill that exempts bakeries, essentially places that sell and bake bread on site, so carving out essentially Panera and Boudin. I wonder, I mean, why in the agreement did you all decide that those workers should not be within the umbrella of this?
I mean, that's part of the sausage making. That was part of 257, the original bill, and we went back and forth, and there was part of the negotiation. It's the nature of negotiation.
There you have it. They're trying to recall this guy, but I seriously doubt that that's going to happen. And he's just flying it to their faces. He's saying, I can do whatever the hell I want to these Californians. I can treat them like dirt. I can let crime run amok. House prices go through the roof. More and more people are on drugs, ODing on fentanyl. People are fleeing the state because it's trash. But I'm getting rich. Let me know what you guys think about this. Leave me a thoughts below. Share the video. Thanks for watching.